Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Customer Experience Conversations. I'm Simon Blair. Today's episode is going to be about needs discovery, which is of all the competencies involved in delivering great customer experience in sales or customer service, this is it. So I want to mention one of my clients in Hobart, Tasmania, RACT, in particular Belinda Moresby. Thank you, Belinda, for contacting me and saying that your staff who are on this terrific journey of building that sales service competency are really craving, I suppose, practical examples of what questions to ask at the, to kick off needs discovery and some techniques there. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video because it is something that certainly for so many people they crave. What do I say? What do I do? So what you're trying to figure out, the point of a needs discovery process, I suppose, is to, by the end of your conversation, your questions, before you talk about your product features and the details of your service, is to find out what is going to make this customer feel comfortable to decide to buy from you today. What are their buying triggers? If you don't know by the end of a discovery process what exactly it is that's going to, this customer's, the factors that are driving their decision, what do they need to do that today, then you haven't done enough. Now, I'm not blaming it. That's a tricky thing to work towards and practice and evolve over time. But ultimately, that's the point. If you start talking about your product and you actually haven't established what this customer needs to feel comfortable to progress, then you're going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. Just you need to be able to have a bit more structure and method and deliberate sort of focus when it comes to delivering the solution, knowing that this is hitting the mark in terms of the individual's needs and preferences. So work back from that. So if you know by the end of a needs discovery process, you need to you want to be clear on what's going to make them buy. Then therefore what questions do you need to ask to figure that out? One of them is just to ask. Here's a great concept. Whatever it is you want to find out, ask the question. If you've established rapport, you've got some trust, you're not being pitchy, you're not being a salesperson, because if you come off as a salesperson, you're dead in the water. Consumers, we hate that. We want our staff in organizations to provide solutions, yeah? As customers, we think of sales interactions not as sales interactions because we think of it as service. I've got a need. I'm looking to get a product or service from you that's going to fulfill that need. That's service. I've got an issue and I need it resolved. Yeah, it's no different. So that's the whole sales as service, service is sales paradigm. But in order to find the solution, you need to find out what the issue is, what the need is, what that root cause is. And so the moment you try to make it product-based and pitching the product and making that the focus too early, then it gets in the way. It gets in the way of making it simple and easy for the customer to evaluate is this going to work for me? Okay, so in terms of the open questions, what comes after that management of expectations? Using examples or questions that start with, tell me more about this. You mentioned this earlier. Tell me more about that. Is a terrific way to encourage customers expressing themselves. That's what these questions are doing, is to trigger conversation. So you don't have to say, here is a question, I'm going to ask it, and now you need to respond. It could be, you need to do it in a way that is natural in terms of how people normally speak with each other. Mr. Smith, tell me a bit more, I suppose, about what you're looking to do. Pause, quiet, silence. You often get that response, and that's where you might be able to, throw in some triggers, help them along. For example, have you been to our website? Is this the first contact that you've made? Are you shopping around? Or how much do you know about our products and services? Whatever. I suppose it'd be good to get a bit more context about what you're looking to do and what's important to you. Bang. Again, keep revealing to the customer what you need from them so you can work towards that solution. And you keep managing their expectations around that. So until it clicks in their head, oh, yeah, okay, well, blah, 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 blah. And you know it's working when the trust is there, you've given context, you're helping them along, and you're resisting jumping in with specific closed questions around your products. Car park that. They just get in the way until you've established, got a greater sense of the person, what's going to work for them in terms of communication style, as well as the triggers for buying. What do they need from you to feel comfortable to make a decision today while you've got them there in front of you or over the phone or online. That's what you're trying to establish through the discovery process. By the end of a discovery process, if it's truly been effective, it's going to be so clear to you in terms of what to do next and where to focus and where not to focus. So it makes it so easy to close out and for the customer to actually go, yeah, this is great. I can see how this would work for me. To join the dots between your solution and the need. So tell me more about your, I suppose, what stage in the process you're at. Do you know much about us? Have you been online? Have you spoken to anyone else? Or is this the first contact? That's a great place to start in terms of your conversation. Where in the buying process are they? Once you've got a handle on that, that'll direct the next sort of set of questions, which are more about trying to figure out those buying triggers. Okay, so obviously you've given us a call. Are you with someone else at the moment? Yeah, I am. Okay. Well, if they're on the phone to you or walked into your store, there's a reason. There's something not quite working out. That value proposition has shifted and diminished with the company they're with. You need to find out what that is. Find it out, probe on that. And if you can get them to tell you, then you'll know the very thing, therefore, for you to focus on in terms of what that you need to obviously show that you're going to be able to do that where the previous company has failed. Suddenly, if you are talking about a particular product or service that costs more even than that, the customer is going to understand that it might cost a little more, but the actual overall value is stronger and therefore it's worth it. Yeah, and we all pay more for things that give us a greater benefit and greater value.